Yeah, I mean, my focus is 100% on one man, that's Israel Adesanya. And
So I'm going to get a root. Do you know what that means?
you're going to get a root, probably a beer. You're going to try and push me around on the stage of the mic. Let's go and see how far you get. I do not care what shape the earth is.
This was a lot of fun.
What's up?
I'm African, but I ain't no brother of yours, son.
Let's go.
Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Shadow Band. It's been a while. I've got a very special guest today, and I'm very excited to have him back. He is a former guest. This is the second episode we have ran. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the UFC middleweight world champion, Dricus Du Plessis. Yeah, so as you can see as well, just before I get started, this is all about him, obviously, but today I want to talk about, I just got my black belt, so this is quite a big day for me. Thanks, guys. Today was my first ever lesson in jiu-jitsu, and they promoted me straight away. I think if you got the skill, you got the skill, and if you don't got the skill, you don't got the skill. It just happened. Anyway, how are you, my friend? You good?
I am good, and congratulations on that black belt. It takes years and years and years. That is the black belt check.
Thank you.
I got it.
Thank you. So anyways, I'll get straight into it. How has Australia been so far?
Great. I mean, the first time I've been in Oz was actually, and it's funny because you would think, I don't know why I would think it, but you know, it was my first time maybe 4 weeks ago with the presser, and loved it. And when I came back now, you know, the fans are awesome. Fighting's big here. The event was it's been quite a while since there was an event in Perth, and then, you know, of course, basically half of Perth being South African.
That's one thing I did want to ask, because obviously Perth's quite renowned for having a lot of South African, a very big community of South Africans here. Have you bumped into quite a few since you've been here?
I would say 1 out of 3 people I meet is South African. It's crazy. I've met a lot of South Africans, but you know, they are very good at camouflaging these days, because you know, they would speak and I would 100% be that's Australian accent, and I was like, oh, no, I'm from South Africa. Hey, Janet, I'm from Pretoria.
Well, that's the thing. I did see like an interview recently. I don't know if it was, I can't remember exactly who it was who said it, but someone said like, oh, Dricus is going into enemy territory. This will be a heavily, you know, Izzy fan-based kind of crowd. And I thought quite the opposite, because obviously the Springboks playing the night before. A lot of South Africans live here. And another thing, South Africa to Perth's not overly far. You know what I mean? It's not too big of a flight.
Yeah. I think the stadium is like 16,000 people. I know of about 100 people flying in, person 100 to maybe 130.
And they're going to be loud.
Like people that I know that's flying in.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, so they're going to be loud, but there's 16,000 other people. So, I mean, we'll see.
I mean, 15,000 of my friends are coming, so.
Yeah, well, that's good. And the other thing is, you know, enemy territory, I wouldn't say that. We are closer to his home, I'm going to assume, but, and whatever, bro.
It doesn't really matter. Like, look at the reception you got in Canada. You know, on the way out, there was a bit of a boo, but then by rounds 2, 3, the whole crowd was doo-doo-poo. You know, everyone was kind of rooting for you.
But at the end of the day, people are there to be entertained, and they are there. Of course, you like a fighter, you know, for a certain persona and a certain way they, you know, just to connect with them outside of an octagon. But once you're in that arena, you're only there for one thing, and that's to see the action,
people
see
here
the
to be
fight.
entertained, and it's a bit different, obviously, for you this time around, fighting on a Sunday. I don't know if you've fought on a Sunday in the UFC yet, but obviously it's going to be a different like sort of time as well. You'll be fighting morning, kind of. It'll probably be around lunchtime by the time you guys are out there, I think. But
yeah, and I actually fought when I made my debut in Abu Dhabi. We also fought in Vegas time on Fight Island, and I think it was like 3 a.m.
Oh, did you fight on the Fight Island?
Yeah, my debut. Yeah, my debut.
Oh shit! Oh, nice.
October of 2020.
Yeah, nice.
And that was weird because I had to wake up maybe at like 1 a.m.
Yeah, I remember that they were trying to allocate that to like obviously prime time US. So
so the same as they're doing right now, basically. So I'm fighting midday. So I think that's.
So how does that look for you? Do you adjust your kind of sleeping patterns and things just a little bit, or not too?
Well, now I don't have to at all, because now we're fighting at the same time that I'm training.
Yeah, got you.
Usually at home. You know,
that's good.
So I don't train at 10 p.m. in the evenings. So that's usually in Vegas when we fight. So that takes adjustment. This doesn't really take adjustment. And the only thing that needs adjustment is, you know, doing a power-up session. Usually I do it early in the day before I fight the evening. So now I'm probably going to need to do that later that evening because you're weighing in a bit early on Saturday. Like
Yeah, so that's one thing I wanted to ask was what time the weigh-ins were. I didn't even know if they were going to be like in the morning, afternoon.
I'm not 100% sure. I think the weigh-ins are, I think from 11.
Is that the official weigh-ins?
The official weigh-in is Saturday. I think it starts at 6 a.m.
Oh shit! Okay,
Where they usually are the Friday at 9. So and then at 4 p.m. on Fridays is the ceremonial weigh-in. So I think the ceremonials are going to be like 11. So it's not going to be too far apart. So you're going to see some still pretty dehydrated guys on the the ceremony, but it's cool. It's cool. So yeah, that's all happening. It's a bit different, but yeah, it's going to be fun because now we'll be done. I'm not going to be, you know, when I fought in Canada, I only got to the hotel after media after the fight at 4 in the morning.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
I remember the first day we met, you were on your last day of cutting weight. I think it wasn't too long before the weigh-in, and you're looking fucking peeled, but full of energy. So.
Yeah. I mean, this is a bit different in Australia. They have this rule. I think it's the commission. You only get 24 hours to rehydrate. We usually get like 36.
Yeah, okay.
So it plays a role. Definitely plays a role. So we did prepare for that. So
well, that's good.
I'm
coming
ready.
Prepared. So at the moment, you're obviously pretty much in the middle of cutting weight and stuff like that. So what's the diet like? Pretty boring, I guess.
But diet-wise, right now, it's so weight-wise, I am where I'm going to be. It's basically just loading the water, loading the salts, adding up on the sodiums, and basically just loading as much water into this body as possible.
Well, FYI for everyone watching, we're actually going out to a nice steakhouse for a nice dinner tonight with quite a few of us. So
I can't wait to watch that.
He's going to be sitting there watching us all eat nice Wagyu steaks, and I'm not going to be too much of a dick about it because, like, you know, you'd beat the fuck out of me.
You're going to eat a Wagyu steak in front of me. You can't be nice about it.
No, I know, but I mean, I'm going to have like fries and like, you know.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to have Diane sauce. You ever tried Diane sauce before?
No.
Okay, anyway, it's not that good. It's a gravy with pepper and some other stuff.
It sounds amazing.
Is Diane sauce good? They make it with like eel and olive.
That sounds amazing.
Do you like eel?
I love eel.
Eel makes me feel... I said eel makes me feel eel. But anyways, yeah, moving on from the dinner topic.
It would do that.
Eel?
Yeah.
But obviously, you don't want to look too much further past like the fight you got coming up and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep it pretty short and sweet today. But obviously, after these sorts of things, like who would you say out of kind of Sean Strickland, Rob Whittaker, do you think is more deserving of the next title shot?
Well, that's a very interesting point now, especially since they announced the comes out and Whittaker.
Yeah, I don't think that makes any sense personally. I don't think Rob needs to do that fight. Like,
yeah, but I mean, with Rob, when you're giving, I love Rob. I think. You know, everybody
like more than
Rob.
friends kind of love?
In a more like of, if I fight him, I'll beat him.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Okay. Yeah, I can respect that. Yeah.
But now, on a serious note, like Rob, he's a true gentleman and a true warrior. And the thing is, he's had his shot quite a few times.
Yep.
I've already beaten him. So right now, for the UFC, I don't think there's so many people who want to see that fight. That is an honest opinion. And I think the UFC needs half a reason to give Kamzat a title shot.
Yeah, I definitely just need him to do one of the right things, and then boom, he's there.
So, okay, listen to this. If they had a draw, Whittaker and Kamzat's getting a title fight, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely. They want that. They've wanted that, in my opinion. So, that fight, with Strickland saying he's going to wait for a while, because there's no way, in my opinion, where they don't give the winner of Kamzat and Whittaker the title shot.
I mean, if I was matchmaker, which I'm not, and some people might just call me a casual fan, but I think the match to make would be Rob versus Sean, no? Like Strickland and
100%.
For number one contender
right
spot.
now, I think to give Kamzat a number one contender shot now after what he's done in terms of like pulling out of all these fights and how it's been going. Hamzat.
You know you can actually bet on him to not make it to the
I know, I think he's as much a favorite as that.
I bet my mum's house on it. Like so if he doesn't turn up to
your mum will have 2 houses.
She's going to have 2 houses, but if he turns up, my mum's going to be like living out in the street in a tent.
Well, then where's you going to put your money for who's going to win? Because now you take a second mortgage.
I think Rob makes light work of him,
100%.
personally.
Rob's been active. Rob's been improving. Rob's been hungry. He's been at it. And I'm going to put my money on Rob.
He looked damn good in his last fight. Obviously, his opponent was very short notice, but I mean, he looked fucking good. So.
No, well, his opponent was training for a fight, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, he was locked in, so yeah, ready.
But Rob is, like I said, an amazing fighter. But to be honest, fighting Strickland, you know, for me, I've said that. I want to fight the guy that people want to see me fight. I want to fight the best next guy. And if that is Strickland, I have no problem with that.
You've been there anyway, so you've already got...
Yeah, I know exactly what to do. And this time to finish him. So, yeah, I mean, my focus is 100% on one man, that's Israel Adesanya. And after that, we'll see what's the best next move.
Yeah, that was what kind of my next question was. Do you think that this would be probably the biggest fight of your career, or do you think the original fight for the belt was a bigger fight than this?
No, I think this is the biggest fight of my career. Like, every fight before that, it was...
Well, obviously, Izzy's quite a big name as well. He's arguably one of the greatest middleweights ever, if not the greatest middleweight. Yeah. So,
yeah, I mean, the greatest middleweight of all time is Anderson Silva up at this point. But, he is... Izzy is definitely one of the greatest to ever do the sport. Not only middleweight fighters in the UFC scene. He's a Hall of Famer for sure.
Well, he's a huge name as well. He's a big draw. He's a good fighter, so it's going to be a cracker.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, it's my first title defense, and every fight is the most important fight of my career for me. From my debut all the way through to the title fight has been the most important fight.
I mean, after this fight too, you would have fought technically all the most recent kind of champions of the last however many years, the last 5-6 years. Rob, Sean, now Izzy, so...
Yeah,
absolutely. This is a big one for you.
It's a massive fight.
It's going to make a lot of noise. I think it's going to sell a lot of pay-per-views too.
Yeah.
I think people have been waiting for this one too, especially Izzy kind of bringing in a bit of drama into the back end of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just probably one of the most anticipated fights of the year for sure.
For sure. But the press conference, it was only a small, very chill press conference, obviously the most recent one in Sydney, but I enjoyed the comment about golf.
Yeah, wow. I tried the golf without shoes. It didn't work.
No, I did see that on one of the sport interview things. You tried it without shoes.
Didn't work at all.
Are you just no good at golf?
No, I'm pretty good at golf, but it was the shoes.
Because SD and Carlo told me you're not that...
No, I'm terrible at golf.
I mean, you don't need to be good at golf when you're good at punching people in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe one day when I retire, I'll get good at golf, hence the comment.
What's the opinions and kind of energy going into the next press conference? Obviously, next week's going to be a bit in front of the public, and there's going to be a crowd, a bit more noise, a bit more energy. Do you think that there's going to be a bit more shit going on, a bit more animosity this time, or you don't know?
Yeah, it all depends on obviously the questions. So the last press conference was all media people, journalists, all that kind of thing. So the questions were civil, the environment was civil. It was
super quiet.
Super quiet. People get riled up, and when the fans are there, and that's where you get the best questions. You get the dumbest questions too, but you get the best questions where you kind of have to answer or say, no, I won't answer that. But yeah, maybe I think so. It's all going to depend on how he wants to be treated. And
well, that's the thing I've noticed with you from a lot of the stuff I've watched, whether it's press conferences, interviews, your kind of interactions with people. You just kind of match the energy in a way, you know what I mean? If people come at you, then you're ready to go. And if it's chill, it's chill, because I also think you're a criminally underrated, not trash talker, but you're quick, you're very witty, you know what I mean? I think people don't talk about that enough, that you're just on the spot, ready to go.
Yeah, I have no problem with the banter. In fact, I always like it.
Well, that's the key word is banter. People think like, oh, how dare you? It's like, we've hung out quite a bunch of times. We've had beers. We've been hanging out with each other, all the same sort of friends and that. And it's like friends, like, the way I explain to people is you and me or you and SD or other friends make fun of each other far worse than these random people can.
By far, 100%.
You've got to have thick skin.
100%. So, and I grew up with two. I'm the youngest of three brothers. Yeah. So, I mean, and like you said, you understand that. All our friends, we know that it's banter. So I'm always keen for a little bit of banter. But if we're there, and it's business, and I'm there for business.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're gonna try and push me around on the stage of the mic, let's go and see how far you get.
Well, I mean, we saw how quickly you broke Sean Strickland.
Yeah, it took one comment. I mean, I had quite a bit more than that, but the same. So it all depends on how he's gonna come out there.
See what he comes out with.
With what energy he comes out to that press conference. But at the end of the day, right now, we are 9 days away from the fight. Whatever he's said now is pretty relevant because next week we're going to get in that octagon, and that's where the talking will be done.
I'm excited to watch the walkout. I can't wait for it to be in there. Fucking buzz. It's gonna be morning time. I'm gonna struggle sleeping the night before. All of us are just super excited.
It's gonna be crazy.
I'm gonna have to behave myself a bit more than I was in Canada, I think. But
well, I mean, it's a rugby, and then the next morning.
I won't be going to the rugby. I'll watch it on TV, but I'm not gonna go there. I'll end up on the fucking piss too much.
Yeah, but, I mean, I'm talking about all the South Africans going to be.
Oh, there's people going to be going mad. I don't think people are going to
rugby.
Sleep from Friday to Monday.
But you're going to get two types of people: those that's going to go to sleep, and those who say they are going to go to sleep before the fights.
No, I think there's going to be probably a lot of dry, empty bars by the end of this next few weeks.
I think the crowd in the UFC, in the UFC, in the RAC arena is going to be lit. But I think by maybe Sunday evening, this place is going to be quiet. Everybody's going to be passed out.
Well, yeah.
Maybe Monday, man, don't expect people to work on Monday. I think there's going to be around 50,000 people calling in sick on Monday.
Oh, definitely. No one's going to work on Monday. Honestly, if anyone in the Australian government's watching this, please make it a public holiday. No one needs to work that day. I'll cut off my arm for it.
I'll get it sorted, Jason.
Yeah. One of my friends over there, he knows some people. He knows who's the current Kevin John Howard. John Howard's our Prime Minister, and he knows John Howard very well.
Did you just ask who? Didn't you know the Prime Minister?
It changes every 6 months. I don't think we've had one. Was it Prime Minister or?
I think it's like Prime President.
I think it's Commoner. Captain. Anyways, the leader of our country.
We're talking about the leader. You don't know who the leader of your country is?
I wouldn't have a clue. And it's not because I'm silly, because I know leaders of multiple other countries. It's just it changes so much here.
Wow.
1 minute there's like a redhead lady, then there's like a black man, then there's an Asian man, then there's a kid. A kid was running the country. Yeah, there was twins once.
Like simultaneous?
Not joined, but like they were identical twins.
No.
No, they were running the country at the same time together.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, I mean, it's working for you guys. Pretty awesome place. Like being here in Perth, weather is like South Africa, especially now in winter, exact same weather as Cape Town would be. And
it's just that rugby's not quite up to the same.
I mean, there were similarities to Cape Town. It's not Cape Town.
No, it's not Cape Town. It's no Cape Town. Oh my God, when we were in Cape Town last time for the Ignite event, that was probably the most tequila I've ever put in my body. But that was fun. The celebrations after his last fight, I think they went on a little bit too long, but I mean, what do you do?
What are you going to do? I mean, for you, it definitely did.
Yeah, I didn't know. Couldn't stop. It was just too, because every time I'd stop, I'd started feeling shit, so then I'd just keep going. I don't have a problem, okay, everyone? I don't have a problem. I just really like to drink. I get itchy without alcohol. I did have a martini with breakfast. Before the gym, I had an espresso martini.
It's coffee.
Speaking about like martinis, drinks, is there any chance I could have some money?
No, I mean, well, sure.
Not a lot. I don't need lots, just a little bit.
Just for like a martini?
No, not for like even drinks. Just like, I know my Airbnb needs like an extra $150, which I don't have, and
yeah, I guess so.
I was thinking like maybe like 100 rands.
I don't know what 100 rands. Oh yeah, sure, I can have
Really?
that. It's like what's that? $8?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like $8.
I forget the conversion.
It's like 12 to 1.
Have you heard much like Aussie slang since you've been out here? Like, have people been talking, any interactions in public with people you obviously don't know, though they say things that you don't quite understand?
Yeah, I've heard some. Well, I mean, the last time we were here, we got some slang. They actually told me about it. Like, I did a interview where they gave me some Aussie slang, and I can't remember any one of them.
Really?
They said it's not a. What was it about? There was one like this show. They gave me a couple of lines. Said, "What do I think it means?" But,
did you do one of those already? Like, you had to guess the Aussie slang?
Yeah, and there was one. It basically means it's not a walk in the park.
Not a walk in the park, yeah.
It's not a.
That's definitely one.
Yeah, but I mean, it meant the same, but it wasn't said like that.
Do you know what, like, if someone was to say to you, like me personally, if I was like, I'm going to go out tonight, I'm going to get a root, do you know what that means?
You're going to get a root? Probably a beer.
No. Would you like me to tell you or no?
I mean, you can tell me.
A root, shag.
All right. You're going to get lucky tonight.
Yeah, like I want to meet a Sheila and give her a good old root.
Okay.
Like from the garden. Sheila.
Oh, so you're taking flowers to somebody?
Taking flowers to a girl.
Okay.
I'm taking
so
a root of the ground to a girl
means.
and hope that I get a root.
So you're going on a date and you want to be romantic, so you give her a root. Okay.
That's exactly right. But yeah, so you've been enjoying Oz so far. Obviously, you were here like a month ago. I think we caught up like a month ago, and
yeah, that was the first time. But I mean, like I said, culturally and especially humor-wise, all the people that I meet in Oz, it's been great. A lot of times when you go to cultural differences is a massive thing. So especially when it comes to humor and what you think is funny. So I think that's a big, I could say, tell in how you would get along with somebody, especially like, all our friend groups and all of our mates are like, always joking. And if that's not going to work for you, you get offended about.
There's no space for easily offended people around.
Yeah, it won't work. So, but that's one thing since I've been in Oz for the first time was exactly that. The fact that we could. I don't totally give that to you.
I just see a bottle of water roll in.
Just want to make sure this thing is sealed before I get a root. All right, it was sealed.
obviously our last podcast, there was quite a few little viral clips that came out of it. It was a good laugh. And then we shot a skit in Sydney recently with Clayton, Mr. Chicken Burger.
Yes,
That was
chicken.
a lot of fun. That video went quite nuts.
That was crazy. But it was the coolest thing. When you told me I'm going to meet Clayton, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And it was so cool to see he's exactly the same person he is in real life than he is on video. It is.
Well, that's the thing when they said, they're like, oh my God, no way, because they're obviously big fans of the UFC. They're big fans of you. Like, when I told them that we'd lined up like a collab, I was like, oh, Dricus is in town, we've got to be quick, but we can do a quick collab for a skit, for whatever. He said, oh, that's awesome. I said, bro, you'll be surprised. I think Dricus might be more of a fan of Clayton.
Bro, 100%. When me and Clayton saw each other, it was the first time I've seen this, because a lot of times you see somebody that's a fan of someone, and vice. When I saw him, I was like, Clayton, he was like, yeah. And both of us were ecstatic to meet each other, and we immediately hugged. We were like...
Man, him and his brother are just such nice guys too. Like, we
amazing
hung out with them
people.
for a good few hours that day.
Such amazing people, man.
We did so well to bang that video out too. We had like no time in the middle of CBD.
Bro, we basically shot that video in 10 minutes.
Oh, I mean, your part, yeah.
My part, we went
to some alleyway to film
but the way
rest.
you guys got it out there was incredible. It was super good.
It was hilarious. I wish you could have seen the environment where we finished off the video after. We had to go to some it was like a little, just quiet street so we could film the rest of the shots. But it turns out that street was like, what do you call it in Australia? It's like a needle exchange where they practice like safe, this is all true, they practice like safe usage of like drugs and stuff like that, obviously. And it's for junkies and crackheads who are obviously using drugs to do it without sharing things and spreading disease. So they give out free crap and stuff like that.
Wait. So in my country, we do have, in the public bathrooms, we give out free condoms.
Oh yeah.
So
I need water balloons, so they don't really give out free water balloons.
You know, so you have free condoms, and that helps to not spread disease and for, I guess, unplanned pregnancies and all that.
I mean, yeah.
So did you just say free crack?
Not free crack, but free needles, like just
okay,
clean.
so free paraphernalia.
Exactly. Because either way, these people that are like obviously.
No, this is for real.
I promise you, not free drugs, just free like things for them to use
not
it.
free drugs, because then the immigration number would be a lot higher. But
this is true, right?
Right. So you don't. Okay, but whoa, do you go to jail if you have like drugs on you?
Yes, you would. No,
Okay,
not jail, but you'll probably go to court and you'll be in trouble the first time, unless it's a shitload. Like,
Yeah, but
Not at those centres, you're allowed to have. Yeah, they don't have cops around.
like it depends on how much you've got. Like,
okay, so if you're a cop and you go sit in one of these places with the needles, and you just wait, and somebody comes in, grabs a needle, you're like, hey, empty your pockets. He's probably going to have something on him,
I
right?
think they go home wherever that may be. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, follow him home, raid his home, and then he probably has.
yeah. Well, he's going to mention it to the Prime Minister. He obviously.
No,
knows
I just
him.
want to know, like, are you allowed to do that? That's like, yeah, I mean, you can just follow this guy that just took the needles, follow him home,
I don't think anyone's thought of it. It's quite genius.
because they'll just catch every,
Well, here's the
crackhead
thing.
on Earth.
I think police go after the people that they get it from, rather than they're just getting it and doing it themselves a little bit.
Yeah, but now they're forcing people to become rats.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, it's a good point.
Bro, this is a very weird. There's no way I would trust the government giving me needles if I was a.
Well, the
drug
thing is,
addict.
these crackheads are going to use them and share them and all get AIDS and do weird shit. So they may as well give them clean stuff for free so they at least do it properly.
And then lock them up for using the needles that you gave him.
yeah.
It's like
It's
a
kind of
mousetrap.
encouraging.
This-
Free drugs, and then when they take the drugs, arrest them.
Yeah. That's-
Yeah, but then this is a very interesting.
But anyways,
like-
we filmed the video in this street, and every 3 minutes we just had like these junkies walking past, like, "Fuck, he's doing?" Like all just fucked out of their heads, going, "What the fuck is this?"
I almost didn't make the cut.
Yeah, they were like, "What movie are you filming?" And they were all just like off their face. And this one, and it was the first time I've actually seen like a gay junkie, because I've never seen junkies that were gay before. Not that there's a problem with that, but anyway, this junkie walked up to Clayton. And he's like, "Oh hey," and like we're talking to Clayton.
Oh.
And he just wouldn't leave. He was there for like 10, 15 minutes, and like it's so hard to get them to leave because obviously like they're all just fucked up and they just want to have a chat. They're quite friendly, but yeah. Anyway, so I ended up going back to one of their houses, and we.
That depends on who you ask, right?
Yeah, it depends on who you ask.
So did he have needles, free, clean ones?
Yeah. I ended up back at his house that night, and I didn't like partake in anything. I just wanted to see what their house was like, and
And how was it? Nice place.
very well furnished.
Nice.
Very well furnished. The art detail was the decor. It's like they get like the really nice stylists in there, and everything was beautiful. Like the color scheming, the flooring, it was beautiful.
Wow.
But anyways,
So wait, in all honesty, you are not taking me for a piss.
I
with
promise
this.
you.
They give out free needles for junkies.
I could Google it and prove it to you. And if I'm wrong,
Okay, no, but Okay, well, no, cool. I'm glad it works for you.
A lot of countries do that. Like
a lot of countries
America does
do
it as well. Yeah, a lot of countries do. Don't ask me why I know all these things.
Yeah, but you see my point in just arresting everybody that takes needles, and
Yeah, yes. I mean, it's not illegal to get needles because some people get them for diabetes and.
they have to, like, you just follow this person for half a day and you're going to find out where the drugs are.
Yeah, this is
Because
true.
guess where they're going after they got the needle?
To the dealer.
Or to wherever they're going to have their best time of their life, I think.
I mean, it just depends. Maybe like they get like the pass. Maybe they're allowed.
No, okay.
But
Good.
I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, we had a very interesting. We were there for about 2-3 hours finishing off the video, and we probably had over 50 exchanges with just all these random people. Someone broke a bottle, but it was interesting. Let's just say that much. And I think you probably would have enjoyed the sights. To be honest, it was quite funny.
Yeah, it seems like it.
But anyways, I want to get back on track with just some other things quickly about the UFC stuff. After this fight, as I said, not looking too far forward, but you have talked a few times about getting the UFC over to South Africa. And I was curious, where in South Africa would you think would be the best place? Cape Town, Joburg, or?
Well, let me tell you this. I'm from Pretoria, so obviously that would be amazing. But to be honest, if you're going to bring the world, people are going to travel there. You know, travel to South Africa. You know, in terms of especially Cape Town.
Cape Town would go
Cape Town,
nuts.
You know, the rest of the world. Cape Town is I think it was ranked the number one city in the world. Like
every person I met was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're in Cape Town. Isn't it dangerous?" I'm like, "Not at all."
Cape Town is incredible.
I loved Cape Flats.
Yeah, and it's. You were not in the Cape Flats.
No, I stayed there for a few days.
You did not stay in the Cape Flats.
It was beautiful.
Right.
That's where we went and had a few drinks.
No, that was called Camps Bay.
Oh, Camps Bay. Okay, same. Tomatoes, potatoes.
But Cape Town, like I said, for an event, you know, Cape Town Stadium, DHL Stadium is probably, if you go check that up.
Was that near the Rugby 10s thing?
That is close to it. It's in Greenpoint.
Okay.
It's the DHL Stadium. It's a massive stadium. If you go and check that out, anybody listening, Google the Cape Town Stadium. It's just a picture of the stadium itself. It has the ocean right in front of it, Table Mountain right behind it.
Oh,
it's
dude.
probably the most beautiful stadium and destination in the world.
I loved Cape Town. Honestly, top 3 places I've ever been.
Nah, Cape Town's amazing.
Easily. And it's
Absolutely.
like for foreigners like me, and it's like it's quite cheap, you know what I mean? Compared to going out somewhere in Australia or America or wherever it might be.
Going anywhere.
Oh my God, you just get so much bang for your buck. Like you have nice cocktails, meals. It's 30% of the price, and it's just as good, if not better quality in terms of food and drink.
The food is incredible.
I
South Africa's
loved it.
food is probably the best in the world.
I've said this to people back here. I'm like, I'm not even like trying to diss Oz. Like I thought the food quality of it, the meats, just all the other foods was just through the roof, high quality, amazing.
Yeah, and that's even Oz. Like the food's a lot better here because whenever I go somewhere, especially when you go to Europe, love the food. It's amazing because it's different.
Yeah.
But I mean, after like 2 weeks, then you start thinking, okay, I want the food that I want. You know, that's something that you're used to. And in Oz, the food is similar quality. The meat's good.
The meat's good out here.
The steaks are thicker.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good stuff, Eddie, but that's the thing I said to people. I think there's like 5 of us went to dinner one night. We all had a nice steak, sides, all this shit. Shots, cocktails, drinks. We were there for a few hours. I paid the dinner bill at the end. It was like $100 Aussie. Like I would have spent $100 Aussie on like one meal and one drink here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
compared to that.
absolutely.
And the people are friendly. The weather's very similar to here. I mean, the weather there was a bit bipolar when I was there. It was like cloudy, rainy, sunny, hot. It just kept
Where
changing.
were you, like in Cape Town now? Yeah, in Cape Town, because Cape Town it's coastal as well. So Cape Town and Perth has a very similar weather.
Yeah.
It rains in the winter.
Well, Perth used to be called Cape Town.
No.
What?
I think, but this is serious. Like if the Earth was one big solid before the continents.
Oh, yeah,
moved
then it would
away,
have been joined.
Cape Town and Perth was one, so that's why the climate.
I believe
is
that it was
so-
joined before the
Yeah,
dinosaurs
sure.
ruined it all.
Sure, I don't think about things like that, but sure.
No, me neither. It's weird.
Yeah, it's
never
like
think about
people
that.
go, the Earth is flat, and I go, I don't care.
I mean, I've been to space and I looked down and saw a big sphere. It looks like a circle.
But if the news ever came out, then they go, listen, fine, comes to it, the Earth is flat. I'll be like, shit,
Yeah.
can you believe it?
But this
I
is-
do not care what shape the Earth is.
Does that mean we could like walk to other countries if it's flat, or do we have to go through the ocean?
But I don't care either.
But anyway, so how has camp been? Since you've obviously landed in here, you're just a bit more light training out here. I'm guessing so close. Like camp's pretty much finished, right?
Yeah, I mean, the hardest part of the camp's finished. The sessions right now, I arrived here maybe 18 days before the fight.
Yeah.
17, 18 days before the fight. Camp was probably one of the hardest camps of my life. Not in terms of like adversity, being injured, all that stuff. Not at all. We just pushed super hard
went hard as
for this
fuck.
fight. And I was healthy. I finally had some time to after the fight where I won the belt to really heal up my body, because the last 2 years has been just fights.
Yeah, obviously you fought with a few injuries and stuff like that, and a few niggles here and there in the last few fights, so must be good to feel healthy and just coming in this good.
Yeah, I mean, after that fight, you know, I had the broken foot, got that healed up within 6 weeks, and we were back at it. I could just really focus on rehabbing and making sure that everything, all the small niggles over the years, proper healed. So, I mean, you're never going into a fight without a niggle. That's never happening. But as far as serious injuries go, finally, you know, coming into this fight, but we had a hard camp because I needed to be in the best shape of my life for this fight. Coming in here, I mean, we're doing shorter sessions, but you know, next week's fight week. So the sessions are super intense, and I'm doing 2-3, but short, intensive sessions. We're not doing the long training sessions. It's short and intense to simulate the fight.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, even since we just got here, training's looking good. You look like you're in good spirits mentally as well, you know what I mean? Not just physically, looking good physically, but I mean, yeah, seem in real good spirits mentally, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big thing that I think with the experience and over the years of, you know, thinking about the fight and getting yourself riled up the whole time, that drains your energy. So, you know, right now I'm enjoying the media because it is draining. It is, especially fight week, because you're cutting weight.
Of course.
You not eating a lot, you feeling a little bit weak, but that's part of it. And I always say it's a privilege to be able to do that, because luckily people want to hear from you. Otherwise, you would be irrelevant.
Exactly right.
100%. So, you know, doing these things, and like we're sitting here talking and doing these kind of things, you know, you get a lot of dumb people going, "You're not focused on the fight." And I go, "Do you want me to sit in a room and think about the fight the whole day?"
Yeah, no, it's good to keep busy.
Yeah,
you know
keep busy, keep your mind off things, because that's good for your energy. You know, there's a time to think about the fight. There's a time to visualize.
It keeps your head in the game too. You're constantly talking about it, thinking about it. You just dialed the fuck in.
Absolutely, and I mean that's part of it. But you know, that comes from people who doesn't know the shit about this.
But one thing I've noticed is you handle like these big moments and these kinds of things just super easy. You know what I mean? Like you don't seem to crack or break or care too much about it. You just take it in, just boom, easy.
But that was one. That's probably one of the most important things I believe an athlete needs, because you get these guys. I know a lot of guys like that. You know, when you see them in the gym, you know, all over the world, and when you speak to training partners of them, they go, "If you see that guy in the gym, he is the world champion."
Yeah.
But the guy can't win a fight. You see it in sports, guys. You know, they get elected for a team, they get picked for a team, and let's take rugby for example, and you think, how do they keep on picking this guy? But if you speak to a coach or teammates, they go, in training, you cannot not pick this guy. He just does everything perfectly. The big match temperament is just not there.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I do have. When it's time to step up, and I go out there and I burn the boats every single time I go out there.
I even saw you over in Canada, you know what I mean? With any interviews, press conferences, walking out on fight night, you know what I mean? Didn't matter if there's people booing or cheering, you couldn't give a shit. It's all energy at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Just absorb it all in and just fucking take it.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, interviews, media, all that stuff, it's part of the job. And it's a easier part than getting punched in the face.
That's for sure.
You know, sometimes it's hard, it's training, of course, but it's part of it. So it's going to be what you make it. So stay positive and enjoy it, because that makes it all
Well, I mean,
much
and that's
better.
another thing, man. It's not, you know, not going to be doing this shit for the rest of your life till you're fucking in your 60s. This is going to be good to look back one day and look at the journey you've had. It's impressive.
Yeah, I would probably like to retire around like 62.
62? Well, that's a good age. It's a bit better than like 64.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't want to be fighting at 64, but no ways. Yeah, 60, that's it.
I'm hoping I just hang around this age for a bit. I don't want to get too much older, like if it's possible.
I don't mind getting older, to be honest. I like it. Like every year's been a good year ever since I started thinking that I'm getting older. Because I guess there comes a stage in your life where you're like, I want to be older. I want to be older until you're 18.
Yeah. I said this recently. I said, I actually don't mind. Every year that goes by, I'm getting happier, healthier, wealthier, making new, cooler friends, seeing more of the world.
A lot of people get smarter. I don't. I get punched in the head for a living. So every year I get a little bit less
At least you
smart.
still speak well.
Well, that means I care less.
Yeah, and that.
But yeah, I don't mind it.
One last sort of thing I did want to talk about, obviously not looking too far ahead again, is just like if things were to keep going the way you and I obviously believe they probably will, and you wrap up a few more like sort of title defenses, would you ever look at going up or down? Or I don't think you'd ever be able to go down, but I mean, would you go up for a second belt at some point?
If I was going down, I need to lose the root.
Yeah. Or just cut off like below the knees. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Let's put some like wooden pegs like a pirate.
But there's no way I'll ever be able to go down.
Well, I mean, you started off at welterweight, or did you start at middle and drop down?
No, I started with middleweight. My first 4 fights, first 6 fights was at middleweight. Then I went down to welterweight, became champion there. I fought at welter for like 5 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, going up, I need to defend my belt a couple of times before I even think about it. So, yeah, I was double division champion in the UFC. I was champion against W. I had 3, call it world titles outside of the UFC before actually going to the UFC. But I definitely want to go up to light heavyweight eventually. But right now, defending my belt, and I always say, everybody wants to be a double champion, and Conor did it like he won the belt and he went up, but he made it look easy.
Yeah, in both fights.
I mean, Conor literally cleared out his division, won the belt in 13 seconds. That makes sense. Yeah. Everybody just can't do that.
I think getting like 2 to 3 minimum title defenses, you know what I mean?
I 100% say, listen, defend your belt 3 times. Unless there's a special circumstance, where somebody pulls out, cool.
Or if you start someone in the first 10 seconds easily, like McGregor did with Aldo, then go up.
Exactly.
On
so there is the exception always, but I mean, defend your belt and stake your claim to go up to once the challenges are really the exciting challenges that the people pay good money to see is finished in your division, that's when you go up.
Well, I think even, with Izzy, you know what I mean? I think he defended it and went up after 4 or 5 defenses or something.
And rightfully so. He lost and then he went back to his division. So I think the way he did it was the right way.
100% agree. But anyways, guys, going to wrap it up there. Hope you enjoyed it. If you don't know, now you know. August 18 in Australia, yes?
That is
August 17th in the United States. And I think it might be August 21st in like Kazakhstan, maybe. I think they're like 3 days behind, so something like that. But anyways, always an absolute pleasure to see you, my friend.
My guy.
Always to see you. Now we're going to go off and eat steak while he enjoys his chicken and broccoli. And we'll see you guys next time. Hey, all right, now I'm going to go and... If you guys are hanging around, we've got Marty and Michael here, and they're about to go through some serious pain, so check out our Instagrams after this, and stay tuned. It's going to be a good laugh, and we'll see you guys soon. Make sure you buy the fucking fight, or I'll find you.